Today is November 27th, 2021. Today's the first day all my chipmunks are hibernating. I'm gonna stop by. This is Hishkabibble's house. Hishkabibble's 2 years old and a beautiful, sweet chipmunk. We're walking over to see Betty. Betty is 2 years old. And another one of my beautiful chipmunks. Over here is Mr. Fuji. He's 3 years old. And we have a dove sitting on Mr. Fuji's area. Mr. Fuji is a handsome boy. Daddy loves him to death. Over here is where one of Squishy's babies lives. Little Squishy. We're gonna leave little Squishy food. She's absolutely precious. This house over here is where my precious Squishy lives. Squishy was 2 years old this year. And she's the sweetest chipmunk I've ever met in my life. This is where me and my little Squishy meet. Squishy lives right over here. Here's my little Squishy's house. And if I put my hand in there, she's dug it up. Across the street over here is another one of Squishy's babies. I call her Stubby. She's got a little stubby tail. So we're gonna leave Stubby. You can see Stubby dug up Stubby's area. So Stubby's been hibernating. Over here is one of my oldest chipmunks, Inky. She's 4 years old. An absolutely beautiful male chipmunk underneath these leaves. Here's my little Inky's house. I love you, Inky. Daddy can't wait to see you in the spring. So we're walking over across the street to a 2-year-old chipmunk of mine named Sweet Potato. A beautiful chipmunk that I love dearly. Here's my little Sweet Potato's house. Sweet Potato's hibernating. Up the street over here is a beautiful 2-year-old female chipmunk, Squeaky. I'll be showing Squeaky videos on my channel. This is Squeaky's little house. A beautiful little chipmunk. This time of year used to be really hard on me when my chipmunks go and hibernate. But the 4.5+ years I've been doing it, it's gotten easier, understanding that that's what they do. So over here I got a little baby. The little baby right here, she's precious. I'm gonna leave her food just to see. She pops up right next to there. There's Sweetie. Sweetie lives right here. Sweetie is hibernating. I'll be showing Sweetie. So in the back here live two of my most beloved chipmunks, Boris and Mr. Spongebob. Boris has been with me 3 years. I love him to death. This is Boris's house. Here you can see, just in case Boris wakes up. Mr. Spongebob, another one of my beloved chipmunks. There's Mr. Bob, Willie Baba, Peanut, just to see. Bob has been with me 3 years. So this area here is a special area to me, and I'll explain why in a second. I'm gonna first grab just some more nuts. So I'm getting some sunflower seeds for today to pop in. So a lot of my chipmunks started off their baby lives right here on the side of the house. Originally SpongeBob lived here, and SpongeBob moved over to there. Originally Shushy lived here, and Shushy moved back there in the woods. And Cookie now, a beautiful chipmunk of mine, lives right here right now, and Cookie's hibernating. So one of my most precious chipmunks ever is Mr. Dinky. Mr. Dinky probably isn't hibernating. He'll come out and see me. Mr. Dinky's 3 years old. There's where I feed to Dinky. Mr. Dinky's house is over here. He lives right here in this bush here. And Mr. Dinky's probably the most special chipmunk I have, because my first chipmunk who I fed for 3 years, Stinky brought me Dinky as a little baby, and Dinky moved right underneath my deck. And there's just something special about my relationship with Dinky, unlike any other chipmunk. So I have thousands of videos of me and Dinky, which I'll be putting out in the near future. But my relationship with Dinky is, I believe, one of the most special relationships between a human and an animal ever. Over here is my precious Bubba. Bubba's another one of my main chipmunks. I love him to death. This is Bubba's hole. Bubba's 3 years old. So I'm gonna drop some seed down here for my sweet Bubba, who I love dearly. Bubba has a playful heart, unlike any chipmunk I have. He just loves to play with Daddy. And over here, I have a chipmunk. I haven't named her yet. I've been feeding her 2 years. She's a beautiful chipmunk, and I look forward to sharing this beautiful angel with everyone next spring. So this area back here is sacred area to me. My Shushy lives right here. And this is actually one of the original homes of my first chipmunk, Stinky, right here. So Shushy's been hibernating. She lives in the woods here, and she can't afford to stay out when these leaves come off in the fall, because there's too many predators back here. My first chipmunk and my heart and my angel was Stinky. She's the reason I got started in chipmunks. I have these logs crossed right here where she lived. And this chipmunk here was sent to me by God, I truly believe. This is where I come and pray. If anyone has anything to pray about, I come here and do it. And Stinky, I love this chipmunk more than life itself. She passed last summer, and it was the hardest day of my life. So back through there, next spring, I'm going to show you a whole nother chipmunk world I have, where No Tail lives, Crazy, and about 3 other chipmunks back there. I'll be sharing that next year. So that's where I feed SpongeBob. I feed Sushi actually over here too. And I have babies all through here that I feed in all the areas I walk. There's Mr. Squirrel. So this is where my precious Herschel, he's 2 years old. And last year, I did not hand feed Herschel. I waited till he was 2, and he is an absolute beautiful chipmunk. And I can't wait to share everything with Herschel. Over here is where I feed Squeegee, my beautiful Squeegee, who I have thousands of videos of, and he'll be a big star, or she will be a big star on my channel. She's the one who did my Thanksgiving video. And over here I have a baby that lives here. This time of year I hide the food if I leave it out, and she doesn't come out. If she comes out of hibernation, there's food sitting right over there. And up this hill here lives my oldest chipmunk and my heart, and I have a whole story to tell about me and my chipmunk Mushy. Mushy's my oldest chipmunk, 5 years old. That's where Mushy lives. And I am going to be doing a whole story on my relationship with Mushy. And up through here is where Chippy lives. I feed Chippy right up there by the wood, which is right up there. Then I have another chipmunk here I haven't named. And then one of Mushy's babies lives behind over there, and I feed them all here at this post here. So I just wanted to take you guys on a little tour of my chipmunk village. Today was the first day I have not fed any of my chipmunks, and I wanted to share it with you. I will still be out here walking and checking for predators for another 4 to 5 hours, and Dinky will probably pop out. Squishy could probably pop out, but the rest of my chipmunks will be hibernating. I found 3 new babies that I gave them food that I'll be feeding next year. I followed them all back to their houses, and I'll be looking for babies all rest of the fall and into the winter, and we'll see how many new chipmunks I have for next year. I love you guys all, and thank you for subscribing to my channel.